Hello and welcome to Gaming with Madness. I'm Logan. I'm here to share with you one of my favorite cooperative board games, The Big Book of Madness. The Big Book of Madness is one of my favorite board games. It is a cooperative game for 2 to 5 players where you play as students in a magical academy. The general premise is one of you has opened up a forbidden tome of knowledge and unleashed 6 monsters into the school. Throughout the course of the gameplay, you will collect different elemental energy cards and use those cards to either buy new spells or seal away curses in order to seal the monsters away. You win the game when you seal the last monster in the book back into the book, or you lose the game by drawing too many madness cards or running out of turns. So one of my favorite things about Big Book of Madness is every time you play it, you'll have a very different experience from the previous gameplay. This is because you'll only ever play with up between 2 to 5 of the characters, and they are very different from each other in how they play and their strategy, and they synergize differently with each other depending on who you're playing with. Also, you'll only ever play with 6 monsters of the 18 monsters in the deck, and each one also is different from the next, and how they combo off of each other will lead to a different experience in the gameplay. One of the cool things is you'll also have these different spell cards. You play with 12 of those randomly of the 48, and those will allow you to customize your character during the course of the gameplay to either lean into their strengths or go towards different strategies. So one of the things I really love about the gameplay is it is a cooperative gameplay, and with everything going on right now, you're kind of stuck with who you're playing with. But the level of communication and strategy in this game is fantastic. You can play it over and over and over again, and you can play it with your wife, your siblings, your kids, whoever. But it's really hard for someone to take control of the game because so many different points of view can feed into the strategy, and the game feels less like a bunch of different rounds of gameplay and more like one big strategic conference where you're like, well, I can do this if you can do that, and there's a lot of back and forth, and it leads for a lot of good communication. The problem solving aspect and the puzzling through of it with figuring out who can do what with the resources they have just makes for phenomenal gameplay and lots of replayability. So one of my favorite parts about the game is actually the art. It's rare that you get a really good game with really good art at the same time, but it's happening more and more. The art is by the artist Nyad, and it's really nice, iconic art. You got tentacle monsters, you got a giant cyclops, pirate wizard, fire elemental, dark elves, and even a really nice iconic dragon, and a gelatinous cube. And it's just fantastic artwork. Thank you for watching Gaming with Madness. We'll see you next time.